years you've been an activist against the plant. What is this like for you?
Enter phase 2, that certainly diligence, vigilance is required more today than yesterday. Again, because they will not be investing in an old plant, which makes us in a particularly dangerous position. And then second, the transition. That once they turn the key off, the risks don't go away. First and foremost, you have to get that spent fuel pool emptied. That's number 1 job. Number 2 job, you have to be lobbying for emergency planning to continue off-site while that fuel is there. You probably have noted that the Nuclear Regulatory Commission is allowing reactors, when they shut down, to stop all emergency planning off-site. We also want to assure that money flows to the Commonwealth so they can do environmental monitoring and testing off-site, again, while the fuel's in the pool and during the decommissioning process, which is a dirty one. We want to assure that 2 bills that will be heard in the legislature on November 17th will have a good hearing and they'll be reported out favorably. One would require Entergy to pay $25 million a year into the state treasury to build up a decommissioning fund. Pilgrim is a limited liability company. They don't have the money to decommission, and they won't have the money to decommissioning. Once they spend the inadequate amount they have, they're going to beat it out of town. And that will mean the Commonwealth, the taxpayers, will have to pay. And it will also mean that the job that should be done to make that a clean property won't be done. We also have to work for having a requirement by the state for the site to be greenfield or be suitable whenever the decommissioning occurs for unrestricted use, and to require that the amount of radiation left on site is not the 500 to 100 milligrams the NRC says is okay, but rather 10 to 4, which is what we want. We know also in decommissioning, NRC only requires cleanup of radiation to whatever level they decide is okay, but they don't require the cleanup of chemicals. So what? Who's going to do that? Do you want the chemicals going into Cape Cod Bay? No, I don't think so. And then today they talked about taking the buildings down, but they didn't mention the key fact only to grade level. They don't take the basements out. Instead, they chop up the cement and put it in a hole and then cover it over. That's not acceptable, certainly. So there is an endless amount of work to do, not to mention pushing for the workers that the skilled and qualified workers remain on site, because it's important that they be here for our safety, and also they know where the spills have occurred. They're familiar with the site, and therefore we want them there. So there'll be no going to Florida and sitting in a swimming pool.
So, Mary, I got just a quick question because I have to run back and produce a couple of pieces. Exactly when you heard the news, when was it? Was it before
This morning.
You heard, and what exactly was your feeling?
It was 2019. Are you kidding? And
But was it
If that-
happy, unhappy, elated, jumping for joy?
No, the first response, and Bill Keating called, and I'd say, I mean, I was still down, so, but who cares, it's just on the phone. And we both said the same thing. We're in a particularly dangerous situation right now.
And this because
It's because,
the
let's
condition of
face it, they don't have the money. And so you're losing, I mean, I don't know why it's a hard connection. You have an old plant in the bottom rung on safety. That requires money, investment, right? And they're losing money. So they're not going to be putting the money in that's required. And so as I was saying to Bill, he said the same thing. This is a particularly dangerous time.
Can I just ask you a quick
Delicious,
question? Do you know what
huh?
time the shift changes?
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing, but
Do you know what time the shift changes?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's staggered or not.
thank you. Thanks a lot, Mary.
Okay, thanks. Good to see you.